Let me do this real quick. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who told me this truth and rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the Akim out here serving this truth and all truth and sincerity that are scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth. To you I say Shalom. And this is going to be a quick video about this this article right here. I was on social media earlier and I seen Canada basically is banning our freedom of speech. So, what I did was, being in this truth, you're taught to fact check things, not just go about what you see on social media platforms or whatever people saying out here. You want to go look it up for yourself and make sure, is actually some truth behind it before you just, go out here and broadcasting it. I seen a brother post it on social media, but that's not saying that what the brother, was posting was, was false. We're just taught, just to go, just go check the facts yourself and just make sure, it's just 100% true. That everything is legit behind it. You don't want to be out here pushing false news because, we're out here, doing this work, the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And you want to make sure that we're, just telling the right doctrine when it comes to these scriptures, as well as giving the people, the sheep out here, the right news, so they can know what's going on out here. So this article goes into the bill that was actually passed that's talking about how they're going to cut down on the freedom of speech and basically start censoring more social media outlets and things like that. It's called the C-10 bill. It says liberals passed Bill C-10 to regulate social media streaming. It says the legislation needs to win passage through the Senate, a process that could be preempted by an election later this year that will effectively kill the bill. But when you scroll down, it says this minister, or Stephen, I don't know how you say his last name, but he introduced the Bill C-10 in the House on November 2020. And now it's been passed. It says Canadian lawmakers passed a controversial bill that aims to regulate programming distributed by media streaming services and social platforms like Facebook and YouTube, a measure that critiques warn could infringe on individual speak. The legislation drafted by Justin Trudeau, so like if I said that wrong, government known as Bill C-10 is meant to subject tech giants to the same requirements as traditional broadcasters, effectively compelling companies like Netflix Incorporated and TikTok Incorporated to finance and promote Canadian content. It's among the most far-reaching plans by governments anywhere to regulate the algorithm tech companies use to amplify or recommend content. So that's something right there that they're going to try to use Netflix, TikTok, and not just the ones that name, but they're going to try to use other social media platforms to try to, promote this, promote this type of bill, to make everybody else fall in line. Which we all know, being in the truth that, this is all going to come to pass. They're going to, they just, test these things out in other countries, and then it finally hits America. And then right here, it says, and in an age when everyone is a potential publisher, the act to amend the Broadcasting Act could affect individual expression on social media and other digital platforms that rely on user-generated content. So that's there you go right there. It's telling you how they're about to censor basically social media content. So, you're not going to be able to, they're using, individual expression, but really that means is they're going to start monitoring things that are being put out here and basically saying you can't upload that shit. And we already know which is targeted for. This is mainly targeted for this word that's coming out. That's the main thing that they're focusing on right now. They're trying to, keep this word from coming out. Some brothers do videos about chariots that are seen. They want to stop any type of news that's getting brought out like that, they want to try to stop that from being broadcasted. So they need a reason to to be able to do what they're doing. And what's funny is I just thought about it. This month they just came out with the so-called UFO report that they did, and it's funny how the same month that they came out with this was America came out with this, but Canada, they done came out with this C10. If being in knowing, that these governors and these presidents and mayors, they don't really the ones calling the shots. It's the ones behind closed doors calling the shots. So everything is planned. And coincidence just does happen. They plan these things out. So that's just not a coincidence. Like this month in America, they came out with their UFO report. Now they're coming out with something just across a bridge. Coming up with something that's about to start being more strict about what's being out here posted on social media. So you know how E move. But that's basically what this article is talking about. And I'm gonna hop into the scriptures. This is Amos 8 and 11. It's like it. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. This is verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So verse 11 is basically talking about what they're trying to do right now. What they already doing in Canada, but what they're trying to do here in America too, as well as all over the world, where they're gonna basically take down from you and hear this word. They're not gonna be able to, like on Instagram or anything like that, where some type of form the word is being pushed. They're gonna take that off completely, and that's just the Lord sending the family for you to be able to hear it. Because right now, it's on social media, it's kind of really wide open. So and with these advertisements, or even with how they do it on YouTube, where if it's anything close to what you've been looking at, they give you recommendations. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen something that has to do with the Israelites on their YouTube page. Something. So, but they they haven't clicked on it. Or they probably clicked on it just to just as it's probably clickbait to them. They clicked on it just to see what it was and kept it moving. They didn't really try to hear the words at that time. Or if they did click on it, they heard a couple things, they probably saw them niggas, they look as niggas. They're like, them niggas crazy. Like, they don't know what they talk about. They conspiracy theorists and all that type of shit. They prophesying about some shit that's not about to happen. You know how they did the prophets back in the old days. They just moved us to the side. They weren't trying to really hearken to us. Like, they took what we said for granted. But as they start seeing, the things come to pass, these prophecies that we were talking about come to pass, and just seeing how things are happening in the world, they're gonna want to, hear something like, let me check this out one more time, because something that I'm pretty sure, I can guarantee you that something that they probably heard on a video, they probably have seen, or they're going to see it, and then they're going to be like, let me go back and check them out. But it's going to be too late, because the Lord is going to send that famine from them hearing the words. And then when I read verse 12, it talks about how they're going to run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and he should not find it. And that's going into how, well, if they're not going to be able to find it on the internet, on YouTube, then they're going to go out there. I'm pretty sure people have walked past or rolled past the prophets and heard us out there, speaking and prophesying, and they just kept it moving. They probably stopped for a minute, listen to a couple things and kept it moving. Or, they probably heard somebody else say, we be seeing, these dudes down there with garments and stuff, basically prophesying about the downfall and this day ain't gonna happen, and they just say, oh, just heard it and just said, fuck that shit. But when shit start happening, people are gonna be out here looking for it. Like, where were those guys that you were talking about, or where were those guys that we seen on the corner, or where were those guys that we stopped and listened to that one time? Where are they at now? We're not gonna be out there, because it won't be wise for us to be out there, because we know how E wants to move on us. We know how these devils want to move. They want to once they start seeing this famine, like that bill, they're trying to stop freedom of speech on the internet. Now, eventually, they're gonna push it to where you can't basically speak out on anything in person. So if we're out there, doing the will of the Lord like we're supposed to be doing out there in the highways and byways, they're gonna try to use that as hate speech and try to say that we're violating a new bill that just been passed or whatever, and they could try do we don't know, but they could try to lock us up for it or any type of thing. So it wouldn't be wise for us to be out there to continue to do that if we know that the devil was trying to come down on us with that great wrath. So it wouldn't be wise for us to do that. Verse 13 says, "And in that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst." Because they're gonna be thirsting for this word. They're gonna be trying to know something. They gonna fuck around and probably have an old ass Bible, crack that bitch open, but it's like I didn't mean to say that bitch, but crack it open, and not gonna be able to understand it. And they're gonna be seeking for a teacher to break down the scriptures for them, to tell them what's going on and all those type of things. But that shit gonna be too late, because when we tried to tell you people what's going on and try to wake you up and tell you to stop bullshitting, y'all didn't want to hear it. Like the scriptures talk about, they wanted to hear smooth things. They didn't want to hear the real shit. They didn't want to hear the real spill, as Jake say. They didn't want to hear it. But you're only going to get the understanding, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of these scriptures, and being able to discern these times. You're only going to get that type of knowledge from Israelites, from the elect. Lord willing, we're part of that number, and from the Israelites, the people that's known in this truth. Because you're not going to get that from these wacky tacky ass pastors. You're not going to get it from these 501c3 churches. You're not going to get it from these wacky ass other Israelite groups out here that really have a 501c3 or that sold out to these devils. They're not going to tell you the truth, But to get back into it, none of these heathens or none of these other people outside of Israelites have this truth, have this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And I got scripture to back that up. This is Psalms 147, verse 19. He sheweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So there you go, right there. He didn't give this truth to anybody else. He didn't give this truth to any other nation. He gave this truth to really the 1/4 and the 1/3. So outside of that, if you're not part of that number, you fucked. So this is just a quick video just to bring out the article, and just another video to try to wake up the sheep and just try to tell people, just stop playing around, stop bullshitting. We living in these times that we're prophesied about. They coming fast, they're coming to pass. So get ready, get right, and prepare yourself spiritually and mentally, because we know it's going to be a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual fight, and you gotta be ready for it, or you're gonna perish with this place. So I'm gonna close out with that. I'm gonna give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, by Shira Kakadash. Shalom.